We're reading today is Chameleon's Colors by Krisato Toshiro. And before we get started, I wanted to talk to you about the essential question, and that's how do animals' colors help them in their habitats? And I bet you've heard someone say the word camouflage before. Now, an animal's colors can help them camouflage into their surroundings and it can help them blend into their surroundings. And if you look up here, you see the chameleon that we're going to read about, and he's kind of blending into that tree. Can you find the frog in this picture? There he is on the bark of the tree. Now, if you look at this picture, you may think you're looking at a leaf, but you're actually looking at a leaf cutter insect. Isn't that cool? That's actually an insect. That's what he looks like to help him blend into his surroundings, to help him camouflage. And then you see our friend the owl. Yeah, there he is. And then the snowy hare, the Arctic hare, changes to white when it's snowy out, and then he'll turn back to brown when the snow is gone so he can better blend into his surroundings. Now, a lot of, can you see in the grass there, in that tall grassland, do you see who's hiding? Oh, yeah. Now, sometimes camouflage helps the animal because it helps them hide from predators, and sometimes it helps them hide to be the predator, right? To be the predator. So it just depends on how camouflage helps them out. So let's take a look at chameleon's colors. The genre is fantasy, which means that people and animals and objects can do things that they can't really do in the real world, and things happen that couldn't really happen in the real world. We are going to be using the comprehension strategies, predicting and confirming predictions, and you all know how to do that. You use your predicting skills by thinking about what already happened in the story, and you think about what might happen next, what makes sense. And then you can either confirm or figure out that your prediction was incorrect as you read on. We're also going to be summarizing, and summarizing will help you because it'll focus your mind on the key details, the important things that are going on. And if there's any gaps in what you understand, it'll help fill those gaps too. All right, so chameleon's colors. Chameleon was always changing colors no matter where he went. His skin would change from brown to green, from green to yellow, all to match his surroundings. Sometimes, even his best friends walked right by without seeing him. They thought he was just a piece of wood, or a leaf, or a flower. Okay, so let's stop, summarize a little bit. How could we summarize this part? Like, we could say, all of this is just telling us that chameleon changes colors everywhere he goes, and maybe even introduces us to the problem that his friends wouldn't even see him because he just blended right in. One day, Hippo almost stepped on him. "Oops," said Hippo. "I didn't see you." "I know," said Chameleon. "No one ever sees me. I'm sick of changing colors all the time." "I think it would be fun to change colors," said Hippo. "You do?" Chameleon was surprised. Okay, so maybe now we know what the problem is, that Chameleon is tired of never being seen. What could we predict might happen next? Do you think that the hippo will change colors? Or maybe you're predicting that the chameleon will find a way not to change colors. What is your prediction? "Day after day, I'm just the same, old muddy gray," Hippo explained. "I wish I could be a different color for a change." "Well, if that is what you really want," said Chameleon. He grabbed some pink blossoms and stomped on them. Then he splashed the juice all over Hippo. "That's fabulous," said Hippo. "Now I'm pink like you." Okay, so were your predictions confirmed? Did you predict that the hippo might change color? If you did, it is definitely confirmed right there. Suddenly, Chameleon had a great idea. That night, he stayed up late, collecting flowers and fruit and leaves. He squeezed out their juices and mixed them in little coconut shells. He couldn't wait for morning. "What chameleon's colors? Bear or flea? What color do you want to be?" Chameleon sang as loudly as he could. The wind carried his voice far and wide, and soon the animals began to arrive. "What color would you like?" said Chameleon. "Stripes, polka dots, checks, flowers? Anything is possible." "What a great idea," said the animals, and they lined up to be painted. They all went home colorful and happy. Chameleon was happy too. He had become the most popular animal of all. All right, let's stop right here and summarize what happened after Chameleon painted the hippo. How would you say this in your own words? How would you tell someone else what's happening? Like the hippo was so happy that he was a different color. Chameleon thought, oh my gosh, maybe all the other animals would like to be different colors too. So he found a way to mix up some paints, and now he's painted all the animals and they go home happy. And he's happy too because he's so popular with the other animals. But the next day, Lion started to complain. "I'm hungry," he said, "but now I can't tell the difference between a zebra and a hippo. How am I supposed to recognize my dinner?" Snake agreed. "I can't hide in the grass anymore. You can see my red skin from a mile away." Soon all the animals were complaining. "Life was much easier with our old colors. Now everything is messed up. It's all your fault. Change us back, Chameleon. Change us back." The angry animals chased Chameleon to the edge of a cliff. Trembling, Chameleon closed his eyes, turned the color of the rocks, and waited. Suddenly, a clap of thunder roared. Huge sheets of rain poured down, washing the colors off the animals. Chameleon breathed a sigh of relief. When the sun came out again, everything was back to normal. The stripes were on the zebras instead of the lion, the spots were on the giraffes instead of the elephants, and Chameleon was back to normal too, changing from brown to green, from green to yellow, all to match his surroundings. Okay, now we've reached the end of the selection and we can summarize this last part. How would you retell this last part in your own words? Now, this last part is the conclusion. It's what happened at the end to fix it. It's the solution to the problem. First, remember, Chameleon was unhappy that he kept changing colors. Now, at the end of the story, how would you summarize what's happening? That all the animals didn't like their colors. They had a hard time finding food. They were mad at Chameleon. They wanted him to change them back. That big rain washed their colors off, and everything went back to the way it was. And it doesn't say that Chameleon was happy that everything was back to normal, but I think that we know enough to recognize that he was probably pretty relieved that things were back to normal the way they should be. There he is sitting on the leaf. Because things didn't go well when he tried to change everyone. So I will be sure to include your discussion starters so that you can talk about this with your big person.